Well, hello, friends. Mark Holmes here with my buddy Cowboy Joe Boo. And as always, thank you guys for watching, commenting, and subscribing to the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, man, this literally does not work. Let's get open for business here today. And I am completely 100% baffled. I had my man Law Nation send this to me. I had my friend Mira Bira send me this. And I was looking at it as well, and I am mystified. And I think it's going to be time to just move on from David Irving because I'm completely lost. We know he's in New York, and some people said, hey, man, it's the off season, man. Give the guy a break. He can do whatever he wants in the off season. And I agree. You're right. It's the off season. But he never had a season. He played in 2 games. 2 games. And you got injured. Now, here's the thing. I got it. You get injured, you can't play, you can't play. I understand that completely. But there's called a thing rehab. It's treatment. I remember back at JMU, because I got bad knee. 6 o'clock in the morning. Okay? While everybody else was hungover and stuff and, and sleep in their bed, you're at the training staff. I was taking ice whirlpools, in for 5 minutes, to a hot whirlpool, in that for 5 minutes, then back to the ice whirlpool, back and forth for 30 minutes. Doing stretching, doing extra exercise and things to get that knee in shape, to get back out on the field, to stay on the field. The team, as far as I know, bent over backwards to work with him, and we showed up out of shape, having all kinds of drama. So the Cowboys did the tag because it was a restricted free agent, $2.9 million, and looked to say, you do well, we're going to sign you to a long-term deal. Okay, all right, that's reasonable. But we know about all that, and I don't need to go to all the drama and stuff on there. But on Instagram, and this is the thing I tell you guys, listen, if you're a football player, don't do your battles on Instagram. Just leave social media alone. Social media is the devil. And believe me, the teams have burner accounts. They follow everything. And even if you figure, well, I'm just going to bury those guys over there because I'm done with that team, guess what? Everybody else, all 31 other teams are watching everything that you say and you do on social media because they don't want to be having the same drama at their house. So here you are, David Irving. You post this. Well, okay. Thank you, but realize I had 0 off-the-field issues this year. That's the funny part. I was forced not to be at the facility by a certain staff member. Now that guy is just as controversial as I am. So I'm not sure. So I'm sure you know who I mean. I'm assuming that he means Jason Garrett. Told him to stay away. The part that bothers me is he had 0 off-the-field issues this year. Well, he had 0 on-the-field issues either. I get having family problems. Believe me, I do. I sympathize. I've done them. I've lived through them without means. But to not know that you're a free agent, to not know that you're no longer part of the Cowboys, and to believe that the Cowboys, yeah, well, they're just going to sign me back. No, understand. Football, when they're done with you, they're done with you. And if you can't perform on the field, bye. We're going to find somebody who does. We had how many missed drug tests? We had suspension, second one in a row, year in a row. You don't show up for treatment. You showed up for training camp out of shape. Now, I know this is just one side of the story. I'm giving you at least one side. I'm giving you at least what I see side of the story where you're trying to blame somebody else. And maybe there is somebody I don't know if it's Jason Garrett or somebody else. That's the only other person I can think of that's controversial. They got rid of Scott Linehan, but I can't see Scott Linehan, although you do have your music, and they're not crazy about the music. I'm not sure who else would have been the one who's controversial. The only one is Jason Garrett. So maybe this was a case of being in the doghouse like some other players were. I don't know, man, but this thing just gets crazier and crazier. And the thing that bothers me the most is that guy, that body, that ability is being wasted. I always try and live my life and try and work as hard as possible because I don't want to ever be that guy that's sitting at a bar drinking and saying, you know, I could have had it all, or I could have been this, or I could have been that. You have the opportunities. You've got to go for it. You've got to put all effort in it, and you can't put blame on anybody else. If you want something bad enough, I don't care who you are. If you want something bad enough, you go out there, you take the bull by the horns, and you do not let anybody stand in your way. And if it doesn't work, don't blame somebody else. You got to look yourself in the eye because people don't fail. They just give up. As long as you are working on it, you haven't failed. I hope he gets it together. I hope that we see him on the field because that guy is talented. I don't think he will ever be with the Dallas Cowboys again, but I hope that he gets everything worked out for his daughter's sake, for his own sake, and everything else. I wish him well, but it just seems surreal at this point. I'm Mark Holmes, and I'll see you guys soon.